Thank you for staying with us on Checkpoint. So we want to have a conversation about the political happenings this past week. And we are doing that with Ambrose Weda, a familiar face on Checkpoint. He's a political analyst and a lawyer as well. So thank you for joining us on Checkpoint. We have a new face, Kipchumba Karori, who's also a political analyst stroke a lawyer. Kipchumba, welcome to Checkpoint. We hope we will be nice to you. Yeah? I hope I'll also be nice to the show. No, you'll do well, don't worry. All right, people, listen. So there's a National Management Committee meeting, Jubilees, that's supposed to happen this week. And what we understand, they're basically going to recap the recommendations to oust Deputy President as the Deputy Party Leader. I want us to listen into sentiments of different leaders on this particular move, including the Secretary General, Raphael Tuju, before we have this conversation.
Very soon, there will be an eviction party from the Hasla Mansion in Karen, and I can assure you it is loading.
It should happen any time now. I don't want to give the dates because of, again, I don't dictate the diary of the president. But within our constitution, we are actually able to have a NEC meeting to be chaired by the chairman of the party.
But because these people are hell-bent to engage in unconstitutionalism, they are really out to ensure that they mutilate the Jubilee Party's constitution. They can succeed in doing so, but such a process will ordinarily be annulled by any tribunal or any court of law.
The characters of Tuju feels that they are more entitled to this party than any other, and it makes us have no, forcing us to give an alternative to Kenyans that are very so frustrated out there.
Okay, that's where we begin this conversation. Whether I'd like to begin with you. The NMC is meeting tomorrow, and they're meeting after recommendations were made to oust Deputy President William Ruto as the Deputy Party Leader. And you remember we had this conversation at some point, and I even asked you whether what options does the Deputy President have in light of the meeting that's being held tomorrow? What comes to mind? What do you think is going to be discussed in tomorrow's meeting?
Maybe the dice has been set to remove the Deputy President, because I think the Deputy President has technically prepared his bed. In other areas, I think there are 2, 3 other parties that is prompting up and down. And then there are also people who are willing, who are angling. They're looking for something to hold against him so that they exert some pain or they humiliate him. So that is what comes in recommendations and so on and so forth, that they have him removed. I look at it, what really pains my heart is that everything is possible, but as a country we should look at priorities. What is our priority today? We are dying of corona, it has gone up. We are yet to procure enough vaccines.
The economy
is going down. And there are quite a number of things. So when you see your leaders, your party, our party, the one that we formed very quickly and it was huge, is engaged inside issues, what we would call in Lula and Kalongolongo, is very painful. I would rather... I continue praying for my president. I normally pray for my president every morning at 4 a.m. And I say, God, give him wisdom that our party, the Jubilee, discusses how to revamp the economy, how to pay the Chinese loan, how to do major things, so that small things like we want to remove this one or remove that one or add this one, it could be discussed when we are fully fed, we have enough food. And we
but whether you've just said the Deputy President made his bed.
He made his bed in the sense that he is ready.
Okay.
He is ready with other parties. He knows, in Kenya it seems also that you don't go for elections and the same party. Originally it was TNA and UDA. URP. Then now we went to Jubilee. The other side, they had NASA, they had CORD and so on. So either there is a move that will come to bring down the Jubilee so that other parties come up. But the Deputy President, on the other hand, he has branded the UDA. There is this other one by my friend and brother Kuria. There are others. And then there are also briefcase ones we are keeping so that, if...
how many are you keeping?
Myself, as a lawyer, you keep a few so that if they bring money with wheelbarrows, you sell. The history of buying and selling parties, the stock market for parties has been very rife in this country, especially as you go towards election. Even the ODM that Honorable Raila is driving, it was bought. It was bought from my fellow Wakili in Manyara, after ODM Kenya was stolen from them by the Kalunzo himself. Kalunzo went with it. Then Raila said, okay, let's go to the Mnada. And they bought this one. And eventually, Kalunzo came and complained that a lot of his votes were lost in the confusion of ODM and ODM Kenya. So he changed it to Wiper. Otherwise, Kenyans now, I know, in that party stock market, there are several parties, and they are just praying, could something happen to UDA and so that you have to negotiate with the chief second seller, the wheelbarrow team, and you tell them, yes, but bring dollar on the wheelbarrows. Just give me a wheelbarrow full of dollars, we give you.
We will negotiate.
So I really don't think that is the basis upon which I'm saying he has made his bed. He's ready, but he will stay in Jubilee until he's forcefully ejected, so that he harvests sympathy. When he's harvested, he said, now look at what these guys are doing for me. To me, oh, why. And he will be harvesting sympathy. He has already harvested so much, but he continues to do so.
Karori, is that the only option available for Deputy President William Ruto? Way to be forcefully ejected and get sympathy votes? And while you answer that, how do you think this is going to go, the suggestion to remove him as the deputy party leader?
Thank you, Linda. Thank you for having me. I think it is quite unfortunate that every time Jubilee meets, they don't meet to discuss the status of Big Four agenda. They don't meet to discuss how far we are in post-COVID economic recovery or such a progressive things. They meet to remove so and so. They meet to just do things that are negative energy and they are destructive to the party. They are doing what we call internal political hemorrhage. They are dying. They are killing itself from within. But going back to the options the Deputy President has, I think from a political strategy point of view, sitting in a corner waiting to be removed from the party that is Jubilee will have been the best option because of what my senior is talking about, harvesting political sympathy. Number two, Jubilee, if you decide today to go head on with Jubilee, and it is unfortunate also that Jubilee has been captured by all manner of people. When you read the objectives of Jubilee, a party some of us participated in having it be the party it is today. It has very good objectives: transparency, respect to the rule of law, integrity, and all that. If you ask yourself today, seated here, while removing any of those officials, have they applied, for example, Article 49 of the Constitution? No. If you today go to the Political Parties Tribunal, PPDT, this, whatever they're engaging in, will be a nullity. But if today you are to go with them head on, you will lose that political currency known as sympathy votes.
Oh, so the idea is just to wait for sympathy votes?
Why? Not waiting, because everybody, Kenyans are well educated, well endowed. They know the process of removing even Linda Ugutu from this place. I need to give you a particularized charge that you have done ABCD. Come, we listen to you, we make a verdict, we give you, the natural justice. But what Jubilee has begun, Murathe comes to this show, he says, I'll remove Weda tomorrow. We see it happening. So we wonder if talk shows are part of the justice system in Jubilee.
And first of all, you said there are people who have captured Jubilee. Who has captured Jubilee?
Jubilee is captured. Linda.
By who?
Let us call a spade a spade. Murathe and the Tujus of this world. By not allowing Jubilee institutions to run, by personalizing decision-making within Jubilee. Let's take, for example, the removal of the Deputy President. NMC is a creation of NEC. NMC cannot remove a member of NEC. No matter how much you read, no matter how laborious you are in opening the articles of the Jubilee Constitution, you cannot arrive at a decision as that. It is as the same as saying permanent secretaries sit down somewhere and propose that a cabinet secretary should be removed, unless we are running a banana republic, unless that political party is in a casino. Those are the things that happen in casinos.
Whether Jubilee Party has been captured and we're making decisions not based on strict rules that are there. What's going on in your party? What's happening to your party? Let me just be direct.
Jubilee Party has not been captured. Jubilee Party...
He says it's been captured by Murathe and
No, Jubilee Party is basically President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto. That is the party. Just like you go to ODM, it's Honorable Raila Odinga. If you go to Wiper, it is Honorable Kalonzo.
Whether, how is it Uhuru Kenyatta?
I'm coming to it.
Okay.
I'm coming to it.
Okay.
So these are the parties. Even today, if Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta and Honorable William Samoei Ruto were to wake up and tell us that now, today, the party is chicken, that will be the party. If Honorable Raila was to come and say, it is no longer orange, it is wheelbarrow. So the problem is not the party captured. The problem is that the president has a tiff with the deputy. These other people may have just incited the president against his deputy. Then his deputy also may have been incited by his friends. So that when he comes up to talk, he makes statements which are then collected and taken back to the president. And the president gets annoyed. For instance, how do you talk in Kiambu and say, am I drunk? Then they go and tell the president, you see? You see what this way the way he's talking. So because of that divide, it seems like there's a problem in the party. The problem is just between the two. If the president and the deputy were to wake up and say, shut up, you will see my big brother and friend Murad David, actually singing and saying hallelujah. This is the party that the Lord has made. If they were to, you'll see Tuju saying, hey, praise the Lord, the best party, with the deputy and whatever. So it is this is the two. And this
up there, so they have to sort it out up there.
As long as they have a problem, the party will have a problem. As long as they have a homework against each other, the party will have. If they get back, you will see the unity you have never seen. So it's not captured. Honorable told you, my brother, is there as Secretary General. So how does he capture the party? Honorable Murade is there as a deputy as deputy chairman. How does he capture? He's in. The capture is the two.
Karori, who was captured?
Who go
let me illustrate something.
Yeah.
Recently in a show within this building, Murathe and Caleb Kositanyi were appearing in the same show.
That was on Crossfire.
Yes, Crossfire with your
Sophia.
colleague Mijungu.
No, that was Sophia.
It was Sophia one.
Yes.
Yeah, you are right. And in just a normal conversation, and Tuju say Murathe said something like, "You will be ejected on Tuesday." Tuesday came, and just as the sun came from east, Caleb Kositanyi was shown the door. 3 days later, Kutunyi was replaced. What is that? When we talk about capture, even when we talk about the capture in South Africa by the Guptas and those groups, it was not that South Africa did not have offices or institutions. It was that there were people outside manipulating institutions. The institution that is supposed to remove people, there is a whole disciplinary institution within Jubilee. Has Caleb Kositanyi been subjected to one? The position Kositanyi holds is supposed to be subjected to the National Delegates Convention for him to be removed. Has he been subjected to one? That's why when we say people have individualized the party. And again, how do we go gossiping parties in other places apart from the institutions ordained by the people? You know, Jubilee Party, a party that is a ruling party, has some element of sovereignty in it because people woke up and voted for it, Linda. The people who are elected exercise sovereignty over these people. Kina Murathe and Tuju are interim officials. They have Jubilee, just like most of our political parties, have not had party elections.
Okay. Whether, and I hear you, Karori, when you say perhaps there are people who are sort of pulling strings within Jubilee. Whether the ultimate decision now lies with President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
Whether or not his deputy will be removed as the deputy party leader.
Yes.
Do you think that is a direction he's willing to take?
Now I don't know. I've tried to think.
This is where you become a crystal ball and you start thinking and you start telling
I
what you
begin
think.
to think.
Yes.
And you wonder whether he wants to go to through that direction. In fact, contrary to what my younger brother is saying, that people have captured this and this and this and this. Kositani was removed because Kositani is on Raila's, on Ruto's side. So when it comes to talk, and the tiff between the power barons, there are two power barons, the deputy president and the president. So they say, we will show you that you are in charge. Now, the kind of party you are talking about, he seems to be talking about a party like Democratic Party of America. Or,
Not a party in Kenya.
No. This party,
Yeah.
This one is a party where the party officials are actually appointed. You will be, Kositany was appointed. He will be appointed by who? By the deputy president. Go and represent my interests here. My brother, big brother, Mudavadi was appointed by the president. He hold my interest there, like that and that. And nobody's talking about election. This delegates Congress you are talking about, where is it? So there's the party and there's the party. So you decide which party are we talking about. So the president may be pushed.
By who?
By
The captors.
not the captors.
By who?
By the people who insist there's a problem with the deputy. There's a large swath of
Linda,
people who
what
have
is-
now gathered.
what
and
is
these
their
people,
name?
please listen. But you have seen them on TV. You have seen Wanda Batuoli. He may not be in Jubilee.
Court of Secretary General.
Court Secretary General. You have seen Baba himself, Honorable Raila Odinga, saying this guy should be this guy. We have seen this. So it's not about Jubilee. The TIF, the issues, the problems not about Jubilee. The TIFs are about 2022 succession, prospects of the deputy president, and how it should be put further behind in line. So what do? Cut off some of his limbs. Which are these limbs? One of them is in Jubilee. Another one, he has a house in Karen with a big compound where he entertains people. And there are people who feel, no, let him go and entertain people either in Sugoi or next to the road where he used to sell chicken. But here, so the TIF is not about the party. The TIF is about the deputy president and the president and 2022. In fact, if Honorable William Samuel Arap Ruto, the chief chicken seller, was to announce today officially that I have withdrawn from any contention for 2022, I will wait for 2032. We will compose songs in his praise. We will look for him. We will actually go to Mama herself and say, please tell the deputy president, we love him. Let him join our camp. The problem is ambition. Even you today in Ruto's camp, go there and announce that you want to run for president 2022 UDA. They'll say you have been sent by the likes of it and get out. So the problem is not the parties. The parties are just, you get it?
Karori, what are Ruto's, what are President Uhuru's options in this?
I think where we are, if I consider whether deep state in Jubilee.
He is deep state.
He is. No. We have to agree with that one. As Jubilee deep state. And again, you have to look and ask yourself, if we were to read minds, if we had a crystal ball and try throwing it around, my hunch will be on two things. One, Uhuru Kenyatta has to rise above the people, the Atuoli, Baba, and all the people saying Ruto is the problem, and provide a nationalistic approach to the problem. He has to take the shoe of a statesman. But the problem is this: we are in a political season where burgeoning William Ruto is the agenda. No, COVID actually is in the back burner. If you are to go today to some of these people and ask them, I have a strategy of burgeoning William Ruto, and tell them I have also another one in the second agenda, a strategy of us getting out of the economic crisis, they'll say, bring the one of kicking Ruto, the one on the economy, you leave it with the minister there. This one is the urgent one. But at the end of the day, we ask ourselves, what is a political party in Kenya? A political party is the people. Actually, Jubilee is two parties, let alone the colors, the RC. It was Republican Council or something. And those ones that merged, Kina Newford, Kenya. The Jubilee party is made of two people and two political parties, TNA and URP. When you talk about kicking out William Ruto, you are talking about kicking out a whole political party brought. He had 73 members of parliament and I think 11 senators and 12 governors. That is the kind of political capital you are kicking out. And at the end of the day, Linda, you have to ask yourself this. With the sprouting up of the Serela coalition, now known as the Sacred Coalition, that the kind of burgeoning William Ruto is burgeoning him to allow this coalition gain traction. But at the end of the day, Uhuru Kenyatta has to ask himself what kind of a legacy is living around. And the other question also he needs to go forth and ask. When KANU happened in 2002, when they were kicking everybody out left, right, and center, Saitoti left KANU. Did KANU become better after that? The other question you have to ask yourself, when Ruto left ODM, the Pentagon, in the run-up to 2013 elections, what did he become next? He became a deputy president when he left the other formations. So I think the crucifixion of William Ruto may be preparing him for something better. And then again, the other thing is this. It is helping him in one thing.
What?
If you today were to calculate, if William Ruto was to pay today for each newspaper, he appears as a front page, he wouldn't manage the cost.
So basically
they run into billions.
People
and Robert Greene teaches us that publicity for a politician remaining in the national circulation is what everybody looks for in politics. Ask yourself, how many presidential contenders do we have? How many make it even to be in the byline? I think that it is only Raila, William Ruto, and once in a while, when the fruits come around there in the name of melons.
Okay, let's see how it goes. So all eyes are on President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let's see whether or not that decision will be made to remove William Ruto, deputy president, as the deputy party leader of Jubilee. Let's see how this goes. Let's move away from William Ruto, and I want us to focus on ANC's leader, Musalia Mudavadi. And there's a pronouncement that was made by Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala. I want us to listen to.
Tayari tumeanza kuongea na marafiki wetu. Mumeona mara kwa mara, nimetembea na rafiki yangu mmoja aitwa Buzeki kutoka kule Uasin Gishu, amekubali kuingia katika chama cha ANC. Nimeongea na rafiki yangu anaitwa Ledama Olekina kutoka kule Narok. Mnajua kama timu ya mpira kuna mahali nafika inaitwa transfer window. Transfer window karibu inafika. Na tungependa tuongee na marafiki wetu kutoka kila kabila wakuje wasimame na Musalia. Tunataka Musalia akitembea Kenya hii aonekane na sura ya Kenya. Asionekane tu yeye ni kiongozi wa jamii ya Waluya. Hapana.
Okay. Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala talking about ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi, saying we're trying to get him to have a nationalistic face, not just... and I remember there was concern when Musalia Mudavadi would go campaigning. Was it you who was saying he kept going to Western, this weekend is Western, and at some point guys were saying, look, someone needs to give this guy a map of Kenya so that he understands it's not just Western. How much of work is involved in making Musalia Mudavadi a national face from where he said?
Linda, if Kenya was to move forward, in my view, in 2022, if I had all the votes of Kenyans...
You only have yours?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I would actually give it to Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. He seems, I know he has a rough idea how to run the economy. Age has also mellowed him down. But the people he has walked around with, you see that photograph, he's wearing that colobus monkey and tucked shirt. He does not appeal to the young people at all. But that doesn't matter. What he needs is not the likes of Malala saying, I've talked to Letkina, Ledama, and Buzeki, and then they should wait for those people. He needs the support of Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. He needs the support of Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. If he was to get those two, you'll certainly see him when it comes to Kisumu, we'll be dancing for him.
No, but how likely is it to get the support of Raila Odinga, putting in mind the back and forth that we witnessed between the NASA
Maybe I'll tell them, there was a prophecy many years by some prophet from there that they'll get power through support from the league. So maybe this is the time. I'm just speculating. But if Honorable Raila is not running, if Honorable Raila is not running, chances would be that it would be easy for Musalia Mudavadi to ask him for support. In fact, if I was Musalia Mudavadi's advisor, all along I'd have told him, just stick with Raila. Just look at his age and stick with him. He will get off the stage. Secondly, I know if I had said here, and I repeat, if you had to put Raila here, put Ruto here, put Mudavadi here, and then collect all the votes and put in the hands of Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and then tell him, the son of Ngina, why Ngina, choose. He will go for Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi 6 Ps. Why? Because the deputy you are talking about, our good friend, I love him, I really respect him. But he has threatened the dynasties. He has threatened the dynasties and said he will sweep the Macros. Now, when you talk about the dynasties, you talk about the Kenyatas, you talk about the Mudavadis, you talk about the Odingas, you talk about all these people, and he's already with the wheelbarrow people, and they can sweep you and toss you into the ocean. So he has put people into fear. In the Uhuru 1, I always say there's Uhuru 1 and Uhuru 2.
Which one is Uhuru 1? Which one is Uhuru 2?
Uhuru 1 was the first term of President Uhuru.
Oh, okay.
That was basically being run by the deputy president. And we were able to see him. Actually, he was also very ruthless. So we are saying maybe time should mellow him down. After 10 years, he'll also have mellowed, just like time mellowed Honorable Raila. If you met Raila in 92 when we were supporting him, all the way to 2007, he could talk a yungumi if you joke around, but along the way, time has mellowed. So Honorable Musalia Mudavadi needs to look at where he wants to go, who will take him there. It is first, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, secondly, Honorable Raila Odinga, and the young people. So he should translate himself to a candidate for the young people. How do you do? Do the basics, like avoid those columbus monkey things they are wearing.
Tradition,
avoid which tradition? This traditional thing, they don't elect anybody. They didn't elect Uhuru, they didn't elect who. Even Raila had to abandon them and start dancing and playing Arsenal. So you have seen these leaders, Arsenal, Manchester. But it is because
Linda,
the Linda generation, the Linda generation, if you ask them that thing they are wearing, what is it? They have no idea.
So
they
you think,
yes.
You think he needs to repackage himself?
Repackage for the modern person.
Okay.
He is dressed for the days his father was campaigning.
Hold on.
Those days are gone.
Karori, what do you think?
I think, first of all, if I were to advise Mudavadi, first of all, the likes of Malala, I join him. Whereas you need that exuberance and the energy to firepower the campaign going forward. Malala has his place. He's an important...
He's a senator.
No, not as a senator. In the Mudavadi politics. Okay. Give it to him. He brought Matungu. He might have all the wrong things, but he brought Matungu.
Matungu was team effort.
No team effort. Malala... There is a team. Even in Barcelona, there is a team, and then there is Lionel Messi.
How much money did he put in?
It's not about the money, it's about the energy. But let us go back. You can put the money, but at the end of the day, Linda, votes is about the Go TV. Get out the vote. You can have so much money in a campaign, but on the last 24 hours, if you do not get out the vote, it counts for nothing. You can even use your money as a river so that everybody collects from their doorstep. But if you do not get out people to vote, they'll take your money and drink. But now going back to Musalia Mudavadi, first of all, he needs to defeat the village in his mind. In his mind, he is stuck with this thing of becoming a lawyer kingpin so that he can transition to a president. Things people like Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto did them a decade or 15 years ago. So he must first of all defeat himself. Two, he must move away from the funeral mentality that his presidential candidature is at its peak when there is a funeral in Western. He must run away from that. When have you seen Mudavadi aggressively campaign in Marsabit? When is the last time you saw Mudavadi in Lunga Lunga, for example?
No, of late he's actually started moving.
No, he's moving, but if you are to put what footballers put, there's a pin they put how a player plays in the field. 80% of the movements are in Western Vihiga, and once in a while he goes to a Tangulas village, but the movements he has done recently, I saw one in Mombasa, another one in Meru. Why is he doing that recently? It is this sprouting up that is happening. And this politics of saying that there must be a kingpin here, there must be a kingpin there, and that is why there is a deliberate attempt to reduce Raila to a Luo politician. If you see all the things happening within the political framework, you will realize that there are things happening to make sure that Raila is cut into size to whatever my senior is talking about, to allow for that, for a moment where one of the big boys in the scared coalition, was it Sacred or Scared?
Sacred.
The Sacred coalition, they are brought up on the table and say, this and this tosha. But as I give it to my senior, the other point that must be made is this. Have you seen the modern day politician? From how they dress? They are even body size. That is why politicians spend time on end on gyms in this town. To look good in a poster, to do what? all those things, Linda, at the end of the day, there is a generation known as the podcast generation. They don't listen to these uchumi bora things. They want something else. That's why most of the people will relate to the wheelbarrow. Most of the people will relate to Raila Odinga talking about mpira, inatoka kwa huyu, inaenda kwa huyu.
Football, yes.
Yes, that football, sport pesa, betika kind of things. Young people relate to that. People relate to these songs, Jerusalem and all manner of things. I have a politician in my village who has known that the only place where people relate with him is him being an MC and dancing.
Okay.
That has endeared him to people.
Just allow me to mention something. Let's also be fair to Musalia Mudavadi about his whining and going around in funerals and always in Western Kenya. The culprits are actually the Luhya nation. They punctured that young fellow. Let me call him young for this, but he's older than me. They punctured him. When Moi made him vice president in 2002, they knocked him out. You see, like, you know, the way what you do to a, you know, what you do to a bull.
Yeah.
They castrated him. And it was, that's what has actually bedeviled his journey. Look at like the Kikuyu nation. When Honorable Kenneth Stanley Jido Bateva was at his peak and was very popular, and they voted for him, they didn't castrate Kibaki. He also just came in, he was there, along the way became president. But us there, the Luhyas there, they actually got him down. When he was campaigning against Raila, again, so it reaches where he is fighting for survival. We did that even in Luland. In Luland, we had very powerful people. We had people like Kisumu Governor, Professor Nyang'o. When Raila came up, so it reaches where you are just fighting for survival. So you want to fight. Otherwise, if they were to just make him, so
Linda,
now it would be a serious.
No, hold on, guys.
A question to Senior. Is he fighting for survival in Luhya land or for survival in the national table?
They can embarrass you. You can be very popular in Msambweni, and then you go there, you are down. Because they say politics is local.
Listen,
so they should also change the way they look at things.
I need to pick your mind quickly in 2 minutes on something Didmas Baraza said today. There's a contention on what exactly he means. You know he's been associated with the Hustler Nation, Deputy President William Ruto. Could we listen in to Didmas Baraza as we close this show? Do we have the bite of Didmas Baraza? Okay.
Vile wa Kenya mnavyojua, mimi niko katika mrengo wa Hustler Nation wa Tanga, lakini kuanzia siku ya leo mimi nakwenda likizo ya miezi 4. Sitashiriki katika mikutano yoyote ama pilika zote za chama kwa masuala ya kitaifa, lakini nitakuwa nikichukua hii wakati ama hii fursa ama hii likizo kutathmini maendeleo ambayo nimeweza kuyaleta tangia nichaguliwe kuwa mbunge wa Kimilili constituency, nikiangalia na ile ahadi ambayo nilikuwa napatia watu wa Kimilili kwa minajili ya kuhakikisha kwamba miradi yote inakamilika, na kama kuna miradi ambayo labda nilikuwa nimewaahidi wananchi na sijafanya, niweze kuweka mikakati na kutimiza ahadi zangu zote ambazo nilikuwa naahidi watu wa Kimilili.
Whether I know you have a problem with Kiswahili, but I'm hoping you've understood that. They usually say the story is usually in not what he said.
Yes.
So you've heard what Didmas Baraza had to say. What do you think he's trying to say?
He has left. He has left Tanga. I think he doesn't have to say I've left.
He said he's taking a sabbatical for 4 months.
Who has ever taken sabbatical? A sitting MP, you take a sabbatical for where?
For development.
He is not pregnant, so you can't be saying sabbatical. Sorry to say that, ladies, I don't mean to whatever. But when a man, a politician sitting in parliament saying, I've taken a sabbatical, going to when he was going to Tanga, did he take any sabbatical? He just woke up one day and started dancing and doing whatever. He has left because there is a recalibration of the political landscape.
Okay.
And I think he wants to wake up, and he may find Mudavadi is a serious presidential candidate. Okay. That will then impact on his chances. So he wants us to go back. Maybe also the deep state is telling him, If you are going to be on the other side, make sure you are very clean. If you are not clean, the DCI will come very early in the morning and the KRA and all this. So these guys, you know, they have not also, I'm not saying him, but generally, if you look at your wardrobe, is it wardrobe or cupboard, and there's skeletons, you say, I'd rather be at peace. So I think he has left.
Okay.
And, but I think he'll be replaced. You'll replace him, eh?
Karori. Why are you asking Karori if he'll replace him?
Actually, I'm just a lawyer in this town. I wonder why he associates me.
Okay,
No,
Karori,
I don't associate. I know. I'm
Karori,
just joking.
what do you think he did not say?
First of all, Linda, you have to understand that
You have 1 minute, actually.
yes,
I need to
all politics is local. That is where we begin. And if you go to the Bungoma politics currently, there is so much battle in the ground. It is cutthroat. And from where I sit and how I understand the politics there, Didmus Barasa find himself as a lonely politician in all that jigsaw. Because you've seen Waluke endorsing Tim Wanyonyi, you have seen other people endorsing the Speaker Senate, you have seen others being with the incumbent, but he finds himself in a uphill task. And for any politician at that juncture, what you have to do is to make sure that you save yourself first. The other thing is, Hustler Nation as a movement with an economic thinking behind it of trickle-down economics, in itself is a movement. There are people from all walks of life. Didmus makes the millions of the people inside there. Okay. And we have seen Sankok left, he came back. Irungu Kangata went, he came back. So it is a huge movement. There are people from all walks of life there. The problem now that Hustler Nation finds itself in is that this is a platform, this is a movement, it's not a political party.
Okay.
That is why now you have to transition everybody from TSP, PEP, UDA, and all these other people to think alike. But for Didmus Barasa, from a political communication point of view, what he's trying to do is to find himself a soul now as a politician.
Okay.
Where do I stand after the waves? Because from now heading to around October, the political waves, Linda, will be heavy. And if you do not well grounded, you might go with the waves.
Okay.
And the life of a politician depends in being re-elected.
Good. That's a good place to end this conversation. And I thank you both for joining me this evening on Checkpoint, Ambrose Weda and Kipchumba Karori. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I'll see more of you on Checkpoint. He's a household name, so we're used to him. But thank you all the same for your time and for joining us on Checkpoint. People, I want us to take a look at sports news. What made headlines in sports this evening?